morning, gentlemen. My name is Wen Chai. I'm prepared by Katsuki Umano and Tomaya Ichigawa. And Dr. Umano will give the talk. Please.
Thank you, Chairman. Gentlemen, thank you for coming to this presentation regarding the anti-corrosion technology for inside the water supply steel pipe by NMR phenomenon. We are Japan System Planning and NMR Corporation, and I'm Katsuki Umano. First, I'd like to explain the introduction. There are many conventional methods to try stopping corrosion inside of steel pipe for past 10 years, such as chemical product of antioxidant, many different types of equipment, such as magnet, ceramics, coil magnet, or take out air from water, or using electric power. And the epoxy polymerizing method. However, there are no conventional methods to stop corrosion inside the water supply steel pipe completely. So we tested nuclear magnetic resonance phenomenon equipment for stopping corrosion inside of steel pipe. We had an experiment to reduce corrosion, which formed inside the water pipe to magnetize Fe3O4 by the use of technology of nuclear magnetic resonance. Experimental. We did two different types of experiments. One is to examine FeO content in water supply pipe, which was taken early morning without using the early night. Other is to examine weight percent of magnetite among total rust of hot water and cold water circulation steel pipe. Experimental diagram 1. In case of examination of FeO content in water supply steel pipe, take sample water for examination of all the FeO content at early morning without using the early night, and then take make an installation of equipment of NMR phenomenon, and after that, take sample water during the period of time between 2 weeks and 4 months after the installation of the equipment of NMR phenomenon, and compare FeO content in water taken before and after the installation of NMR equipment. Method of measurement of all FeO content in sample water are ICP emission spectral analysis and flameless atomic absorption spectrometry. Experimental diagram 2. In case of examination of magnetite weight percentage in total rust formed inside of hot and cold water circulation steel pipe. First, take sample rust for examination of magnetite weight percentage in total rust formed in the surface of pipes, and then make installation of the equipment. And after that, take sample rust during the period of time between 3 months and 12 months after the installation of the equipment, and compare magnetite weight percentage in total rust taken before and after the installation of the NMR equipment. Method of measurement of the weight percentage of magnetite. At first, took sample rust from water circulation steel pipe and crushed and milled the rust sample and made powder in the mortar, and added pure H2O and collect the deposit of magnetite by using magnet, and repeated these steps several times and added methanol, and after dry up methanol and measured magnetite weight, and the weight percentage of magnetite Fe3O4 was calculated by this purified magnetite. Result. At first, I'd like to show you 3 cases of result of FeO content in water steel pipe. First case, this building was 25 years old and using steel governor pipe for water supply line. Table 1 shows measurement result of all FeO content in the sample water of Hokkaido Industrial Research Institute buildings before and after the installation of equipment of NMR phenomenon. Before the installation of equipment, NMR equipment, all the FeO content is very high and showed 0.789 million per liter. 2 months after the installation of NMR equipment, FeO content decreased to 0.423 milligram per liter. And 4 months after the installation, FeO content decreased to 0.262 milligram per liter. Figure 1 shows change of the all FeO content in the sample water of Hokkaido Industrial Research Institute buildings before and after the installation of the equipment. As you see, FeO content of 0.789 milligram per liter decreased sharply to 0.262 milligram per liter after 4 months of installation of the NMR equipment. It is clear NMR phenomenon change corrosion FeOOH to not solved material involved. Next one is 25 years old Nihon University's buildings. Table 2 shows measurement result of all FeO content in the sample water of Nihon University's engineering department buildings of number 8 and number 9. Number 8 building, before the installation of NMR equipment, FeO content is very high. It showed 7.8 milligram per liter. And 4 weeks after the installation of NMR equipment, FeO content decreased to 0.11, and 6 weeks after the installation, it decreased to 0.03 milligram per liter. And number 9 buildings, before the installation of NMR equipment, FeO content shows 1.2 milligram per liter. 4 weeks after the installation, FeO content decreased to 0.04 milligram per liter. And 6 weeks after the installation, it decreased to less than 0.01 milligram per liter. Figure 2 shows change in all FeO content in the sample water of Nippon University Engineering Department buildings of number 8 and number 9. Upper line shows number 8 buildings, and the lowest line shows number 9 buildings. As you know, FeO content of these 2 buildings is decreased very rapidly from 7.8 milligram per liter and 1.2 milligram per liter to 0.03 milligram per liter and less than 0.01 milligram per liter after the installation of 6 weeks of the NMR equipment. It is clear that NMR phenomenon effective to change corrosion FeOOH to not solved materials in the world. Third one is 24 years old hospital. Table 3 shows measurement result of all FeO content in the sample water of Medical Center Hospital of Japan Red Cross Society. Before the installation of NMR equipment, all FeO content showed 2.0 milliparity. 2 weeks after the installation, FeO content decreased to 0.48, and 6 weeks after the installation, it decreased to 0.27 milliparity. Figure 3 shows change of all FeO content in the sample water of Medical Center Hospital Japanese Red Cross Society. As you see, FeO content of 2.0 ml per liter was decreased to 0.27 ml per liter after 3 weeks of installation of NMR equipment. It is clear NMR phenomenon changed corrosion to not solved materials in the water. This case is regarding result of weight percentage of magnetite in total ballast formed in a hot and cold water circulation steel pipe. Table 4 shows measurement result of the weight percentage of magnetite in the last of air conditioners steel pipe of Foundation Wakabadai Administration Center's buildings. Before the installation of NMR equipment, weight percentage of magnetite is very low. It shows 2.2%. 3 months after the installation, this weight percent of magnetite increased 14.4. And 6 months after the installation, this weight percent of magnetite increased to 53.4. And 3 months after the installation, this weight percent of magnetite increased 72.9%. Figure 4 shows change of the weight percentage of magnetite Fe3O4 in the last of the air conditioner steel pipe of Foundation Wakabadai Administration Center's buildings. As you see, weight percent of magnetite Fe3O4 was increased from 2.2% to 72.9% after 12 months of installation of NMR equipment. It is clear NMR phenomenon reduced corrosion FeOH to magnetite Fe3O4. Discussion. As you know, corrosion FeOH has made a red water problem since old days. This study proves that when the corrosion FeOH was changed to magnetite Fe3O4, which is not solved into the water, the corrosion and red water problem were solved. When the nuclear magnetic resonance phenomenon made the hydrogen nuclei of water molecules spin for a long time and separate big gathering condition too small, and this water was moved in the pipe by the power of pressure pump or water drop by gravity. The electrons were generated by this moving condition of water and reduced corrosion FeOH to magnetite Fe3O4. The reaction formula of reduction is as follows. 6 FeOH plus 2 electron change to 2 Fe3O4 plus 2 H2O plus 2 OH minus. Conclusion. In case of examination of FeO content, corrosion changed to not solved material in water and FeO content was decreased. It is very difficult to think about other component or crystal except for magnetite Fe3O4. When the big gathering condition of water molecules were changed to small and excited state by spin of hydrogen nuclei by nuclear magnetic resonance phenomenon, and this water was moved in the pipe by the power of pressure pump or water drop by gravity, the electrons were generated by this moving condition of water, and then the corrosion FeOH were reduced to magnetite Fe3O4. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Malo. Any question or comments, please?
Yes, I understand you are evaluating corrosion by detecting the ferrous ions in the water, but you are increasing the magnetite inside of a pipe. And the magnetite is a type of the corrosion product. You are just testing for the ferrous ions. Now, I don't understand what's the difference increasing the corrosion rate. You're not testing corrosion rate, you are testing the ferrous ions. So it's kind of conflict of testing each other.
So the question is something difficult to understand. Corrosion FeOH is a big difference from magnetite Fe3O4. Corrosion has OH and soluble to water. However, Fe3O4 is not soluble to water. It's a big difference. It's easy to find out the difference in a check the Fe content in the water.
But magnetite is a corrosion.
Magnetite corrosion, however, different. Normally the corrosion means FeOH, so it's soluble in the water. However, the Fe3O4 is different. It's not soluble in the water.
But pipe losing the steel. Pipe.
No, it's different. It's a corrosion it developed inside and reacts Fe and react with H2O water and oxygen and makes FOH. However, the Fe3O4 is reduced from corrosion by electron.
Also similar, actually, a little bit similar question is that you really solved the red water problem.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the pipe still is closed. Corrosion still happens. Have you tried the weight loss for the coupon on the pipe?
Do you know the stainless steel did the same things or the similar? As oxidation layer that protect the cell material. So even the same thing the Fe in the steel has a similar character. Protected by the Fe3O4. Fe3O4 has no corrosion.
質問はフェラスの鉄を測って濃度が高かったとして、それが落ちたとしても、食速度が下がったとは言えないんじゃないかということだと思うんですけど。
In case of if making FeOH, the FeO content is never decrease. Even as grow up the FeOH, the same times. However, it's different, the action. So you better to check yourself.